All right, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-15 Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. Why the Dallas Cowboys 0-15? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all want to spend a little bit of time with me tonight? Thank you so much. I got something else plugged into my computer here, so I don't have my microphone plugged in. I know this one works pretty good. I've had problems in the past, people hearing me or being able to hear me, or it breaks up a little bit as far as my computer, the microphone on my computer. So hopefully everybody can, or anybody listening at all, can hear what I'm saying. I'm burning a DVD right now, and that's plugged into the outlet, to the side of the computer here. That's why I can't plug my microphone in. So I hope anybody. What we got here? Hey, good evening, Grid. Let's go. G-Men road to 3-0. Yeah, I'm all for that. Well, we got to do some talking about that. I'm gonna try to go about 30 minutes here. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Now, I saw this, and it makes a lot of sense also, how Evan Neal, right, and Micah Parsons, Evan Neal / Kadarius Toney, right, / Micah Parsons, all kind of tied together, right, by a trade. Now, let's not forget. Let me pick it up here. Let me. I got it here someplace. I want to go to the where we at 2021 draft. All right, how can we forget, right? Giants getting to be on the clock, right? I mean, they were Giants were 11. Who are we going to get? Who are we going to get? Who are we going to get? Right? The Cowboys are in front of us, right? Cowboys don't need a wide receiver, right? So the Giants are just licking their chops, right? The Giants. Oh, baby, we got DeVonta Smith. Woo, right? Now, I don't know, if it's, what do you say, somebody, opened their mouth or whatever it was, leaked out some information that the Giants maybe were trying to think about getting DeVonta Smith or whatever, but, and I don't know how true it was. I don't know if you're ever going to find out or whatever, but, the Eagles, traded with the Cowboys. And that's the other thing. It's like, trading with somebody in your own division, it's like, I don't know. Cowboys and the Giants, Cowboys and the Eagles pulled off that trade. The Eagles went from, from 12 to 10. Cowboys went from 10 to 12, left the Giants at 11, left the Giants So if the Cowboys, would have picked – now, I mean, it's interesting, because the Cowboys, would have took by Micah Parsons at number 10, regardless. But they wound up getting Micah Parsons at number 12, and they got some more draft capital from the Eagles, right? So if the Cowboys took Micah Parsons – at number 10, if there was no trade, Giants possibly might have took DeVonta Smith, right? Leaving the Eagles with maybe they might have been trade partners, right? With the Bears. Maybe the Bears would have traded up with them, right? So, because what the Eagles did, trading up, taking DeVonta Smith, Giants still could have had Micah Parsons. Right, we wouldn't have gotten 2 first-round picks. Meaning, the one we got from the Bears. We traded back, and then the extra one from the Bears. Okay, so we would only had 1 pick. So we would have gotten Micah Parsons, and that was it, right? Because we traded, we got 2. Now you can always say, I would say without question, if Kadarius Toney could stay healthy, which he's not, which it doesn't seem like he ever will. Jimmy Johnson, the great coach from the Dallas Cowboys, said, "Hurt players get hurt." He gets hurt, That's all he's going to do is get hurt. Just have to. That's it. Until he's no longer with the Giants, which I don't know how, how much thin ice he's skating on, because the guy can't practice, the guy can't play, right? What was he caught? Was he caught one pass this year? Two passes this year? I mean, he ran the ball 2 times, I think so. I mean, I'm going to go over some of his stats from last year, but the guy just can't stay healthy. So, but if Kadarius Toney could stay healthy, if he was, I'm going to go over some stats with him and compare him to somebody else. Okay. If we had Evan Neal and a healthy Kadarius Toney with the skill set he has, with the moves he had and all that, what he has, right, that's just God-given. You can't practice that. You can't say I'm going to work after practice. I'm gonna eat my Wheaties, and no, you can't. What he's got, you can't do. You know what I mean? It's God-given ability. All right, it's simply amazing what that guy can do. Fantastic, but he can't stay healthy. All right, so I would say that without question, if we had a healthy Kadarius Toney and Evan Neal, I would take those two over Micah Parsons. Now, since Kadarius Toney is not going to be, I highly doubt if he's going to be any part of the Giants after, his 4th year. I don't know why they would want to pick up a 5th-year option on the guy. I mean, it's only the 2nd season. I know we're maybe jumping the gun here and everything, but I'm sure he's got to be skating on some thin ice there, right? And if, but I mean, I don't know how long he'll be with the Giants, but Evan Neal and Micah Parsons. Now, so far, I mean, Evan Neal's, I think it's a little bit easier to be a pass rusher in your first year. Okay. And I'm not dissing Micah Parsons. The dude is freaking phenomenal. Could you imagine if he was on our defense? Holy crap. Oh my God. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? Oh, man. Because if we take him last year, we don't take Azeez, right? Could you imagine Micah Parsons on one side and Kayvon Thibodeau on the other? Could you imagine that? Oh, my God. Wow. I mean, the dude is freaking phenomenal, isn't he? Oh. But, I mean, I think coming into the league, I think lining up on edge rusher, and doing what your God-given ability, I think that's a little bit easier. I think Evan Neal, as we saw with Andrew Thomas, right? Andrew Thomas had a rough first year. Second year got a little bit better. This year's 3rd year, only been 2 games. I get it. Long way to go, right? But after 2 games, he's the number 1 rated offensive lineman, period. Not even close. He's 89. The next highest guy is an 83, I think it is. Okay. So, I mean, so we're going to, Evan Neal, we're going to get some growing pains, okay, as we see, all right? I'm going to go over some stuff with him as well, too. So, I mean, it's going to take him, maybe, hopefully by the end of this year, he'll start maybe getting a little bit better. Maybe next year he'll be, he'll start coming on and all. But they'll always be tied to each other, all right, in that trade now, because, we had the number 7 pick, right, in the number 5 and number 7, okay, in the draft, right? Now the thing is, Ekwonu was taken, okay, so the Giants could not take him, okay, he was already off the board, all right. Carolina got him, all right, so that left with you had a bunch of other guys, okay, you got Trevor Penning, he got taken a little bit later, but you get Zion Johnson, Kenyon Green. Right, you had Charles Cross, Evan Neal. Okay, you got all those guys on there, right? You could have taken, Ekwonu was gone, so we took Neal. I'm very, very happy we did. Okay, but so far, I mean, they're pretty. You'd be surprised between Neal and Ekwonu. So it's only been 2 games. I get it, but Neal, first game against Tennessee, graded out of 40. Ekwonu, first game against Cleveland, graded out of 41. Now, and his pass grade, Equanu's pass grade, PFF, first game against Cleveland. Now, they got some good pass, all right, good pass rushing, very good pass rushing. His first game, he graded out of 17.9. Okay. Against the Giants, his pass blocking grade was a 59, right? But Equanu's first game, he graded out at a 41. Evan Neal, first game, graded out at 40. Evan Neal's second game against Carolina, they obviously went against each other, but the second game, Evan Neal graded out at 54. Equanu, second game, graded out at a 54. Okay, so they're both, so far having some struggles. Okay, Neal, I think possibly in the long run might be the overall better. Equanu is more of a road grade. I mean, he's more known, obviously, I guess, for his run blocking. Okay. I think Evan Neal in the long run might wind up being maybe the better overall pick. And if we get, Thomas and Neal, okay, we're going to have some great bookends. I think Neal's going to take some learning, a little learning to go. And, as time goes by, I think it'll be the same thing as what happened with Andrew Thomas. You'll start seeing improvement, because he looks like a professional, takes his job very, very seriously. So I think we got ourselves a winner there. But I always wondering, what would have happened? Okay, and I guess you're never going to find out. What would have happened, okay, if the Cowboys never traded, okay, with the Eagles, right? If Cowboys took Micah Parsons at number 10, will we taking DeVonta Smith at 11? Interesting. Or, and there's the other thing, you can do that too. Right? If we knew, of course, not going to know, but Micah Parsons was as good as he was, would we have traded with Chicago, moved back? Would we have done that? Very, very interesting. Because you always remember, we didn't trade with Chicago. But let's also forget too, all right? If we had taken Micah Parsons, okay, maybe we don't take Kayvon. Maybe at number 5, we have our pick this year, past draft. Maybe we have our pick at offensive lineman. Maybe we take, I don't know, maybe we take Equanu. Maybe we take Neal. But we at pick 5, obviously we took Kayvon, right? Can't complain about that. But it would have been interesting to see if we took Micah Parsons last year at number 11 and didn't trade at all. And we had one draft pick in the first round this year. And number 5, who would it have been? Would it have been Equanu? Would it have been Neal? Very, very interesting to see. But these two guys are always going to be forever tangled up, tied together, forever. Okay, without question, by that trade. All right, so we got Monday Night Football, pit the 2-0 Giants against the Cowboys, right? Obviously, the basic interaction between the two is the matchup on the field. Neal is going to have to block Parsons when the two of them are matched up. Now, Parsons, you never know where that guy's going to line up at. He could be anywhere. While Parsons will do his best, obviously, to disrupt the Giants' offense. However, the two players will be linked by a pair of trades made before either was drafted. And I just went over them. Yep. Oh, yeah. Now the two will face off on one of the biggest stages in sports, Monday Night Football. It's going to be fun, Neal said on Thursday. That's why you always dream of playing in the NFL, to go against the best players. Micah's a great player. He's really fast. He runs a 4.3. Just, God, that's freaking amazing. Absolute amazing. Now, the two won't go against each other on every play. He's all over the frickin'. Sometimes he drops in coverage. Sometimes you see him lining up in the middle, right? Where he can use his speed, to pick a hole in the middle, right? Rush from the center. Sometimes he's lined up over the right. I've seen something lined up. He's all over the place. You have no idea where he's going to be lined up at, right? Andrew Thomas will have to block him, or try to block him, So, it's going to be very, very fun. Very, very fun. It's going to be very, very. Now, he hasn't had a sack yet against the Giants. Let's hope he continues that trend, okay? I would absolutely love to see that. Absolutely love to see him continue that trend. Now we got Kadarius Toney. Practice status was downgraded. Okay. New York's receiver Kadarius Toney, listed on the week's injury report with a hamstring ailment, would not have been able to practice Friday, according to the team's injury report. Giants held a walkthrough Friday, so the report was based on projections. Toney, who was limited Thursday, was the only player whose status changed from Thursday. Okay. New York Giants defensive lineman Len Williams, who suffered an MCL sprain, remains unable to practice with the team and appears to be a long shot to be ready to play Monday night. Williams was injured in the third quarter of the game against the Panthers. He was diagnosed with an MCL sprain. Thank goodness. It was just a sprain. Thank you. Okay. Williams has never missed a game in his 8-year career due to injury. Last year, toughened out a painful triceps injury, despite being it was a lost season. Dude had a tricep. It's like, you know what? I mean, I don't know why. I'm getting paid. I got the money coming in. This tricep injury is killing me. You know, I'm going to sit out for a little while, maybe a game. The season was over with. You know, nope. The man wanted to play. Right? I give the man all the credit in the world. Leo the Lion, hell of a guy. Okay. And as I said, you can, complain maybe he doesn't always get the amount of sacks, or maybe he's paying him $20-something million a year, this, that, the other thing. But the man wants to play football, and you got to give him credit for that. All right, then you got defensive backs Aaron Robinson is appendectomy, Justin Lane with concussion, Nick McLeod with hamstring, and Wan'Dale Robinson with knee were also on the pre-practice injury report released by Dable. Okay. Aaron Robinson is projected to be back for the team's Week 4 home game against Chicago, so that's good. Okay, that's cool. Wan'Dale Robinson is said to be making progress from a knee injury initially reported not to be serious, but one that could end up costing him a second straight game. So maybe he'll be back, in time for Chicago as well. All right, and McLeod is also looking possibly to miss a second straight game with his injury as well. So, and then, of course, in other news, we got Kadarius Toney with his hamstring tightness. Sterling Shepard, workload management, that's fine. I got no problem with that. Both of them were held out of Wednesday's practice. Were expected to return Thursday because there was no injury report required to be filled out Wednesday. Shepard was not included on the Thursday report. Toney was listed as limited. Okay, and then, of course, we got Dane Belton was clavicle, and Feliciano with a shin. Both were listed as limited, right? And edge rushers Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari were both listed as limited, but both are on track to play Monday night, barring any setbacks. Thank goodness. So, absolutely love to see that. Now, I mean, it just with Kadarius Toney, I don't know. I get a kick out of it here. Right. Now, Kadarius Toney, all right, so far this year, he's played in 35 snaps. 2 games, he played in 35 snaps. I don't think he played a snap in the preseason. 35 snaps. And he may not even be playing. I mean, I just want, compare. Last year, all right, he played apparently 10 out of 17 games. I mean, if you want to call it that. The one game against the Rams, he played in the opening drive, came out of the game after that, didn't go back in the game. Some of the games in the beginning of the season, let me see here. The amount of snaps he had it was unbelievable. Week 1 against Denver, he played 5 snaps. Because he played 5 snaps, he played in the game. 5 snaps. Week 2, he had 19 snaps. Against the Rams, he was in 6 snaps. Kansas City, 34 snaps. The Raiders, 31 snaps. 35 against the Bucs. 39 against the Eagles. 37 against the Cowboys. I mean, he played 46 against the Falcons and 50 against the Saints, the overtime game, right? He played in 302 snaps last year. Guy cannot stay on the field. Then I just want to point out just Stephon Diggs. The guy, he's a catching machine. I mean, he's got Josh Allen throwing him the ball. All right, he's a heck of a wide receiver, this, that, and everything. But, I mean, so far, I mean, he's only played 82 snaps so far this year, okay? But, I mean, like last year, he played in 1,066 snaps, 2021. In his first year with Buffalo, 1,137 snaps. Now, I mean, that's a lot of snaps. And that was in a 16-game schedule. Last year in a 17-game schedule, he was at 1,066. But 2019 with Minnesota, he was 877. 2018 with Minnesota, 874 snaps. 2017 with Minnesota, 904 snaps. 2016, 693, so about 700 snaps. And 2015, his first year in the league with Minnesota, 713 snaps. I mean, it's like, it's just some guys just cannot stay healthy. And, like I said, I don't know how thin the ice is getting under Kadarius Toney's skates, but it doesn't matter what you can do. Your best ability is your availability, and he's never available. I mean, we'll have to want to wait and see, but if this hamstring tightness doesn't get any better, he might be missing this game. Hopefully, maybe he'll be back in time to play against Chicago. Right? I mean, because you'd want to, I mean, for the Giants, you want to at least win one of these next two. Right? I mean, you got home against the Cowboys with a backup quarterback, home against the Bears, okay? The Bears are not a offensive juggernaut or anything like that, okay? You know, they pride themselves maybe on their defense and all, okay? But both home games, winnable games. You want to win at least one of the two. So that way, maybe if you go on the road against, the Packers across the pond in London, right? And you go up against Aaron Rodgers, and if you lose that one, okay, after 5 games, the Giants are 3-2. I'll take that. Yeah, we got a shot at being 4-1. But, I would take 3-2. Okay, then we have some easier games once again coming up, So, but I'd take that. But, hopefully the Giants can win at least one out of these next 2 games. If they win them both, that'd be fantastic. But it's just simply amazing how Kadarius Toney just cannot stay healthy. Cannot stay healthy at all. Simply amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now we got one more thing here I wanted to go over with. Now there's 3 things. I saw this article here. I don't want to try to be like too negative. I just saw this article. All right. Let's get here. 3 causes for concern in week 3 for the Giants, going up against the Cowboys. That's true. All right. Now, New York Giants will host the Cowboys on Monday night, running a 2-game winning streak. All right. As we know, this is unfamiliar territory for Big Blue. Oh, yeah. Cowboys, meanwhile, coming off a win, against the Bengals. Now, with the Giants off to a good start, they're hoping that a whiteout called by head coach Brian Daboll. Everybody wear white. If you go into the game, put on white. Okay. At MetLife Stadium can propel them to a victory in week 3 to improve their record to 3-0 on the year. Even without a quarterback, Dak Prescott, the Cowboys will be no easy task. Absolutely not. The Cowboys, sometimes it's, they play better here in Giants Stadium than the Giants do. Right? Anytime the Giants play a divisional opponent, the games are usually tight and fans shouldn't expect anything different on Monday night. Now, here are 3 reasons. This is from Giants Wire. 3 reasons why there's concern for week 3. Now, this is true. Cowboys front 7 and Micah Parsons. Yep, the freak. Despite the Giants being undefeated, the offensive line has not been great. Nope. No, it has not. In fact, they've been vastly inconsistent through the first 2 games. Absolutely. You can say that again. The Cowboys front 7 was able to get Joe Burrow off in week 2 and tallied 6 sacks on the day. Head coach Brian Daboll has pinpointed Cowboys linebacker Micah Parsons as a problem. Duh. No kidding. Facing the Giants. And the team will have to game plan around him specifically. Yep. And, of course, then you got, the other one is, we'll have to see. Trevon Diggs. He had a good year last year. He had a lot of interceptions, okay? He could not cover Kadarius Toney last year. Could not cover. It was a joke, absolute joke. Now, I said I have to see how the Giants, how they game plan. I'm sure they're going to try to get a lot of passes out quickly. I'm sure they don't want Daniel Jones standing in the pocket for any length of time, okay? Right? But Trevon Diggs made a name for himself as a ball hawk in 2021, where he reeled in 11 interceptions on the year, including 1 in each of the 2 meetings versus the Giants. Even the Giants coming away with victorious in their first 2 games, Daniel Jones has struggled at times. He struggled. The offensive line struggled. Whether you blame the offensive line or not, Jones has had one of, if not the worst interception of his career with the Giants in the red zone in week 1. And in week 2, he had a throw go right into the hands of the Panthers defender, but luckily the ball fell incomplete. Jones must be careful in week 3 and not to turn the ball over, especially when throwing in the direction of Diggs. That's one thing that's going to just really, really wipe the, I don't say wipe them out, but I mean, hurt the Giants. If you're in the red zone, if you don't get a touchdown, got to get 3 points. You can't give the Cowboy, I know it's easy to say, watch the turnovers. Can't give the Cowboys any short fields. I mean, if you're going to have an interception, if it's a deep ball and you throw it 40, 50 yards down the field and they pick it off or something, okay. But, I mean, you can't get the strip sacks where they pick the ball up and run it back for a touchdown or a fumble on a sack and they get the ball or intercept. That's really going to hurt the Giants, because the Giants don't seem like they're built, right, to come back. If they need a boatload of points. I mean, they had the whole second half against Tennessee. Okay, and they scored 3 touchdowns. But if it winds up going into some type of a shootout, okay, it'd be tough to be a shootout, especially with Cooper Rush there. But, I mean, the Giants, they can't shoot themselves in the foot, all right? Cannot. All right. Now, the other problem they have here in this article, all right, is the defensive line injuries. The Giants came into the season with their anticipated top 2 pass rushers, Azeez Ojulari and highly talented rookie Kayvon Thibodeaux. While Dable has said Thibodeaux and Ojulari are getting close, they will likely be eased back into the rotation. Yeah, so if they wind up playing Monday night, don't look like they're going to be playing 80% of the snaps, okay? Now, while Dable has said that Thibodeaux getting close, okay, Leonard Williams has been playing great along with Dexter Lawrence and Oshane Ximines, but the line took another hit last week when Williams left the game early with a knee injury. Williams is listed day to day, but he's not practiced yet this week, so there's a real possibility the Giants will be without him on Monday night. So, I mean, hopefully the Giants can get back their edge rushers. They're going to be possibly losing Leonard Williams. Now, Micah Parsons has not been practicing. He's had some kind of like I don't know. Jerry Jones was saying something like a flu or a bug or something like that. So he hasn't been practicing. All right. I don't think there's any way in heck he's going to wind up missing the game on Monday night. But he hasn't been in practice. All right. Now, one other thing I want to point out here, I mean, as far as like with the some concerns. Okay. Now, if we have here defense, all right, like pass rush. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys, according to PFF, that's all I'm going by. Dallas Cowboys pass rush, number 2. Buffalo, their pass rush is 90.2. But the Dallas Cowboys, they're number 2. Their pass rush, 80.7. Number 2, okay? The Giants pass blocking. Let's see where the heck are they at. Giants pass blocking. Oh, I know they're down at the bottom down there. Where the Giants at there? We're talking about, right? No, they're number 16. Okay, pass blocking is a 61.5. I do believe. Is that right? Yeah, 61.5. So they're gonna have their work cut out for them. Okay, guys are getting beat. Guys are getting bull rushed back into Daniel Jones. You got guys laying at Daniel Jones's feet after the linemen are getting bull rushed back to him, and all guys are beating Evan Neal around the edge. And so Giants got their work cut out for them. I mean, as I said, they got Joe Burrow 6 times last week. I had a lot of pressure, right? And they're going to be bringing a lot of pressure this week as well too. And Daniel Jones, if he stands back in the pocket for any length of time, could be in a lot of trouble. Right? So you're going to have to try to get the ball out of his hands as fast as possible. Okay. Because let's not forget, I mean, the Giants have done a decent job defensively as well, holding opponents down. But I mean, I think they gave up 19 points to the Bucs, right? And they gave up 17 to the defending AFC champions, the Bengals. They've only given up 36 points. Okay. So they haven't done much offensively, but defensively, their defense has done very, very well. Now their run defense, let me see the run defense here. They gave up a decent amount of yards on the ground to Tampa Bay, but Dallas's run defense here. Okay, well, they're number 18. Okay, they're at 55.8. Okay, so right. But it's their pass rush. We got to be careful of their pass rush. So the Giants could possibly run on 55.8. I mean, it's only 2 games, so it's, But the Giants, let's see here. Where we at? Run blocking. Giants. This is not. I mean, the Giants are like way down. I mean, somehow they got 200 and something yards running against the Titans, and PFF has them graded as the worst run blocking team, 47.3. All right. So regardless, I mean, Saquon helps without question. Having him on the team is going to help, because, he can make up for some bad blocking. But the Giants, hopefully with Cooper Rush there, if the Giants get their edge rushers there, they should be able to keep, if they can get some turnovers, that would be fantastic. That would help. That would be huge. Hopefully they can keep the score down, okay? But, I mean, it's going to be up to the Giants' offense. I mean, they have a hard time, keeping the pressure out. Daniel Jones got to, get back. Don't want to stare down his first target, right? Wait for him to get open. Okay, I'm going to throw the ball. No. Right? So you have to get some quick passes in there. If you're going to take shots down the field, you better, I don't know what, max protect. Pick your times, if you're going to throw it deep, but try to get the ball out of his hands quickly, right? And you can't have no bad turnovers. I mean, so the Giants, it's going to be very interesting. Regardless, I think it's going to be a really, really exciting game. I think either way, it'll come down, one score either way. I mean, unless something really goes crazy where Cooper Rush throws like 3 interceptions and they get run back for touchdowns or something, or, I don't think the Giants are going to run away with this game. And if the Cowboys do wind up winning, which is quite a possibility, because the Cowboys play very well in Giant Stadium and their fans travel very well in Giant Stadium as well, too. But, I mean, if the Cowboys win, I mean, I could see it being like 24-17, somewhere around there. I could see the Giants winning 24-17. 24-20, or vice versa. I can see the Cowboys winning that one either. So a lot of it, I think, is going to depend upon turnovers. Okay. Who's the team that, gets the turnovers? Whoever gets the turnovers, I think it's going to be huge. I mean, if the Giants give up 2 or 3 turnovers, they have a hard time trying to overcome that, But that has been 33 minutes. Anybody at all spend any time at all watching this? Greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys absolutely rock. Or anybody spend any time at all watching the replay of this, right? Spend any time at all of your day or night watching this. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys absolutely rock. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.